Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at gratitude, but maybe flipping it on its head a bit. Forget thanking the easy stuff. We're digging into something the Stoics called, well, strategic adversarial gratitude.
Yeah, it sounds intense, right? But it's really not about just being optimistic no matter what. It's quite different. We've looked into the sources, and it's this really deliberate, almost calculated acceptance of difficulty. Welcoming challenges, you could say.
Okay.
It's like an intellectual discipline. The goal is achieving this psychological balance, this inner calm, almost like a shield against, all the chaos out there.
Right. Okay, let's unpack that. So if normal gratitude is, I don't know, being thankful for a sunny day, this is more like acknowledging the storm and saying, okay, what can I learn here?
Exactly. You look at figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, they weren't trying to dodge trouble. They were looking for the lesson inside it.
They actively sought it out almost.
Well, maybe not sought it out, but they definitely accepted it as fundamental. The Stoic idea is that hardship isn't just random bad luck. It has a purpose.
Yeah.
It's the main way, maybe the only way, to really test and refine your character, your inner strength, your virtue.
That really clicks when you look at the examples. Epictetus, right? He started life as a slave.
Chattel servitude.
And he used that total lack of external freedom to cultivate this incredible internal freedom, like mastering his own mind because that's all he could control.
Precisely. He proved his mind couldn't be enslaved, even if his body was. And Seneca, too. He faced political exile, even a death sentence later on. And through it all, he worked on cultivating this unshakable calmness, equanimity. He saw how temporary things like wealth and status really are.
So these huge setbacks, they weren't just roadblocks for them.
Not at all. They were the raw materials, the ingredients for building a stronger inner self.
So how did they manage that? I mean, facing plagues, war, loss,
Yeah.
How do you turn that into a kind of mental operating system?
Again, the key mechanism they used was this idea of the dichotomy of control. It's fundamental. They got really clear on what was actually up to them versus what wasn't.
Things you can control versus things you can't.
Exactly. Your judgments, your choices, how you react emotionally, that's internal. That's yours. Everything else, external events, what other people do, even your own health to some extent, that's outside your direct control.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical, I think. So, say you hit burnout at work, or there's some unexpected bill. The Stoic approach isn't just gritting your teeth, right? Am I supposed to thank the burnout? How does that work without just pretending?
Right, good question. You're not thanking the thing itself, like, oh, great, burnout, fantastic. No, it's more like you consciously affirm its reality.
Yeah.
You see it clearly, and then designate it internally as, okay, optimal conditions here for me to activate my best self.
Optimal conditions, that sounds challenging.
It is. But by affirming it, you stop it from paralyzing you. You take away its power to make you feel helpless. The internal question immediately shifts from, why is this happening to me, or self-pity, to something like, okay, procedural determination required. What action is needed right now? It becomes tactical.
I like Seneca's analogy. A gem cannot be polished without friction. That friction, that pressure, it's not just something to endure.
It's requisite. It's necessary for building that strength, that integrity, both structurally, like the gem, and for your moral character.
So connecting this to our own lives, maybe to mastering something new, gratitude for how hard it is to learn a really complex new skill at work, that's acknowledging the struggle, is the only way you actually get good at it.
Exactly. That difficulty is the path. Or being thankful for a really tough negotiation.
Because it forces you to get better at setting boundaries, communicating clearly.
Right. Or even gratitude for, say, a project failing or a professional setback.
Oof, that's tough.
It is tough. But that failure forces you, if you let it, to really analyze what went wrong, what was the flaw in the strategy. It compels that deep reflection.
Which is actually the fastest way to learn and improve, to achieve real mastery.
Yes. So to really start using this, you have to make a conscious adjustment in your daily outlook. Make a point to render appreciation, maybe not for the challenge itself in a happy way, but for the fact that the challenge compels you to focus, to analyze, to reflect.
That deliberate shift, that's the muscle you're building.
That's the cognitive resilience right there, built through practice.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway here seems to be that gratitude, the Stoic kind, isn't some fluffy nice to have for people whose lives are going great.
Not at all. It's an essential tool, an operational instrument for everyone, especially when things are tough. Systematically engaging with turbulence, with friction, it moves you beyond just surviving.
And towards actually mastering your inner world, regardless of the outer one.
Definitive mastery, that's the aim.
So here's something to think about. If really seeing the constructive role that difficulty plays can shift you from just being tossed around by life to being someone who actively uses challenges to build internal discipline, what major source of friction in your life right now should you maybe formally thank today, knowing that engaging with it differently might just be the key to your own mastery?